My beloved, you have been standing in the heart of a great and violent storm, my child, and its fury has left you feeling battered, vulnerable, and utterly, completely unsafe. The howling winds of adversity have torn at the very fabric of your peace. The lashing rains of sorrow have chilled you to the very bone, and the crashing waves of your circumstances have threatened to pull you under, to dash you against the rocks of your own despair. They, the world, have looked upon the tempest that has engulfed your life, and seen no shelter, no harbor, no place of refuge. They have predicted your inevitable collapse. And you, my beloved, feeling the foundations of your own strength begin to tremble, you have begun to believe them. You have begun to fear that this storm will be the one that finally, completely destroys you. This is the great terror of the storm. My precious one, it is not just the pain of being battered by the wind and the rain, but the profound and paralyzing fear of your own imminent destruction. You have felt yourself to be a small and fragile vessel, caught in a hurricane of immense and merciless power. And you have believed that it is only a matter of time before you are broken apart, before you sink into the chaotic, dark waters of your trial, lost forever. You have known the disorienting power of the storm's winds. My child, they have howled with the voices of your own fear, your own anxiety, your own confusion. They have whipped your thoughts into a frantic, chaotic whirlwind, making it impossible to think clearly, to find your bearings, to hear my voice. These winds have sought to tear away your hope, to rip your faith to shreds, to leave your spirit naked and exposed to the full force of the tempest. And you have known the wearying relentlessness of its rains, a constant downpour of disappointment, of grief, of hardship that has seemed to fall without end. This rain has soaked into the very soil of your soul, making it heavy, waterlogged, unable to produce any fruit of joy or of peace. It has been a cold and isolating rain, cutting you off from the warmth of easy fellowship, leaving you feeling drenched, chilled, and utterly alone in your misery. And you have listened the terrifying power of its waves, the great, overwhelming waves of circumstance that have crashed over you, one after another, each one threatening to pull you under. A wave of financial trouble, a wave of relational conflict, a wave of sickness, of failure, of loss. You have battled these waves with all your strength, but they have seemed so much greater than you, and you have felt yourself growing weaker, more exhausted with each one that you have had to face. In the midst of this all-encompassing storm, my child, your greatest feeling has been one of profound and utter unsafety. You have felt that there is no shelter, no refuge, no place to hide from the fury of the elements. You have believed that you are completely at the mercy of this chaotic, destructive force. And this feeling of profound vulnerability, this belief that you are unprotected and alone in the face of your own destruction, has been the very heart of your terror. The world has confirmed your fears, my beloved, for the world knows nothing of a safety that can be found in the midst of a storm. Its only concept of safety is the absence of the storm itself. And so, it has looked upon your situation and has offered only its pity, its sorrowful condolences for your unfortunate lot. It has no category for a peace that can exist in turmoil, a strength that can be found in weakness, a safety that can be experienced in the very heart of danger. And its blindness to this deeper reality has only served to reinforce your own despair, to convince you that your fear is, in fact, the only logical response. But I have come to you now, my child, as you are being battered by these howling winds, as you feel the cold spray of the waves upon your face. I have come to you not to stand on a distant, safe shore and to shout words of encouragement. No. My beloved, I have come to you in the very heart of your storm, and I'm here to speak a truth so profound, so paradoxical, so contrary to all that you have ever known or believed, that it will, if you will receive it, become a new and unshakable anchor for your soul. Listen to me, my child, and let this truth begin to quiet the terror in your heart, even here, in the very midst of this violent, chaotic, and terrifying storm. You are safe. You have believed that safety is a place you must get to, a harbor you must reach. But I am here to tell you that truth. Divine safety is not a location. It is a person, and that person is me, and I am with you. You have been looking for a shelter from the storm, but I am here to be your shelter in the storm. You have been searching for a refuge from the chaos, but I'm here to be your peace in the chaos. The storm is real, my child. Its power is real, but it is not the ultimate reality. I am, my presence with you, my love for you, my power to uphold you. This is the deeper, greater, truer reality, and because I am with you, because you are held in my own loving and all-powerful embrace. The storm cannot ultimately harm you. It cannot destroy you. It cannot conquer you. Do not be afraid, my precious one. I know the winds are loud, but my voice of peace is more powerful. I know the waves are high, but my hand of strength can hold you above them. The storm will do its worst, but it will not have the final say. I will have the final say. And my final word over you is one of life, of hope, of peace, and of a profound, beautiful, and miraculous safety. Even here, in the very midst of the storm, for I am your God, and I am with you always, and in me, you are safe. Yes, my precious child, as you stand in the heart of this violent tempest, your spirit trembling with a profound sense of your own vulnerability, you must now understand the magnificent and mysterious reality of your safety. You have been looking for a shelter outside of yourself, a physical place of refuge, a change in your circumstances that would bring an end to the storm. But I am here to reveal to you that your true safety is not a place you must run to. It is a person you can dwell in. For I, your God, I am your shelter in the tempest. My very presence, which is with you always, is your secret sanctuary, your invisible shield, a holy and unshakable refuge of peace, right in the very eye of the hurricane that rages around you. You are not as vulnerable as you feel, my beloved, for you are hidden in me. You have believed yourself to be exposed to the full fury of the storm, and you have wondered why I have not protected you. But you have been unaware of the divine and powerful protection that has been surrounding you all along. My presence has been like an invisible force field around your spirit, a shield of grace that has deflected the most lethal of the enemy's arrows, that has tempered the full force of the wind, that has kept the waves of your trial from utterly overwhelming you. You have felt the storm, yes, but you have not felt its full, unmitigated fury. You have survived thus far. My child, not by your own strength, but because you have been sheltered by a power you could not see, protected by a love you were not even aware of. My presence has been your secret and all-sufficient shield. And more than this, my child, I am not just a shield around you. I am a sanctuary within you. This is the great mystery of our communion. While the storm of your circumstances, of your emotions, of your thoughts has been raging with a chaotic fury, I have been maintaining, at the very center of your being, in the deepest part of your spirit where I dwell, a place of profound and perfect calm. This is the eye of your hurricane, my beloved, a holy of holies within your own soul, a place that the storm cannot touch. It is a space of absolute stillness, of unshakable peace, of a quiet, serene communion with me. Your God, you have been so focused on the roar of the winds, on the outer edges of your experience, that you have been deaf to the profound quiet that has been available to you at your very center. You have been so battered by the waves on the surface of your life that you have forgotten the still, deep, peaceful waters that lie beneath. But this sanctuary, this eye of the storm, has been there all along, waiting for you. It is your true home, your eternal reality, a place of safety that is not dependent on your outer world, but is a gift of my own indwelling presence. Your safety, my child, is not in the absence of the storm, but in your access to this inner sanctuary of my presence. The world knows nothing of this kind of safety. Its only concept of peace is a life free from trouble. But the peace I give you, the safety I offer you, is a supernatural one, a peace that can be experienced in the very heart of the turmoil, a safety that can be known in the very midst of the danger. This is a far greater, more powerful, and more precious gift. My child, for if your peace were dependent on your circumstances, you would be forever at their mercy. But because your peace, your safety, is found in me, a reality that dwells within you and that transcends all circumstances, you can now possess a security that is truly unshakable, a peace that can never be taken from you. I am your shelter in the tempest. My beloved, my love is the very walls of the sanctuary. My faithfulness is its unshakable foundation, and my peace is the very atmosphere within it. Here, in this secret place, you are safe. Here, you are hidden. Here, you are held. The winds of fear may howl outside, but within the shelter of my presence, your spirit can be at rest. The rains of sorrow may fall, but within the sanctuary of my love, your heart can be comforted. I invite you now, my child, to learn to access this inner refuge. It is a journey of turning your attention inward, away from the loud and frightening chaos of the storm, and toward the quiet, peaceful reality of my presence at your core. It is a journey of faith, of choosing to believe that this sanctuary is real, even when your feelings are telling you that the storm is the only reality. As you learn to do this, as you practice retreating into this eye of the hurricane, you will find, to your quiet astonishment, that the storm itself begins to lose its power over you, for you will have found a place to stand, a place to rest, a place of profound and beautiful safety that is beyond its reach. Do not be afraid of the storm any longer. My child, yes, it is real, but it is not your ultimate reality. I am. You are not a helpless victim of its fury. You are the cherished dweller in a divine and secret sanctuary. You are not unprotected. You are surrounded by my love, shielded by my grace, and held within the very eye of my own peaceful, powerful, and all-encompassing presence. And here, my beloved, in the very midst of the storm, you are and will always be completely and wonderfully safe. And so, my precious child, as you begin to trust in the magnificent reality that I am your secret shelter in the tempest, your unbreachable sanctuary in the very eye of the hurricane, let us now explore the profound nature of this divine safety that is yours. For the world has taught you a shallow and fragile definition of safety, a definition that has left your heart in a state of constant anxiety, forever at the mercy of your circumstances. But the safety I offer you, the safety that is yours even now, in the very midst of the storm, is of an entirely different and more glorious kind. It is not the absence of outer turmoil, my beloved, but the presence of an unshakable inner peace. It is a safety that comes not from a change in your situation, but from your connection to me, your unchanging God. The world defines safety as the absence of threat, the absence of danger, the absence of pain. And so, you have spent much of your life trying to construct a safe existence by controlling your environment. You have sought to build a life where there are no storms, no conflicts, no challenges, and you have found this to be an impossible and, ultimately, an exhausting task. For the world you live in is a world of storms, and a safety that is dependent on the weather is no safety at all. It is a fragile illusion, a house of cards that can be blown down by the first great wind of adversity. But the safety I give you, my child, is a supernatural safety. It is a gift of my grace, a reality of my kingdom, and it is not dependent on your circumstances. It is a profound inner security, a deep and abiding peace that can be experienced in the very heart of the most violent of storms. It is the safety of knowing that while the waves may be crashing against your boat, the one who is with you in the boat is the very Lord of the sea. It is the safety of knowing that while you may be walking through the fire, the one who walks beside you is a being of such glory that the flames cannot harm you. This divine safety is, first and foremost, an unshakable inner peace. It is my own shalom, my own serene and untroubled reality, now made available to your own heart through my indwelling spirit. This peace does not deny the reality of the outer storm. It simply transcends it. It is a quiet, steady, and beautiful anchor for your soul that holds you fast to me, your rock, even when the winds of your emotions and the waves of your circumstances are raging. This peace is the very atmosphere of the inner sanctuary, the eye of the hurricane, that I am for you. And as you learn to dwell in it, to make it your home, you will find that the outer chaos loses its power to create an inner chaos within you. And this safety, my beloved, is also an absolute security for your truest, most essential self. The storm can touch your body. It can touch your finances. It can touch your earthly relationships. It can touch your emotions, but it cannot touch the eternal, indestructible spirit that is you, the very part of your being that is hidden with me and God, your true life, my child, is beyond the reach of any earthly storm. It is eternally, unshakably safe in my hands. And to know this, to truly believe this, is to be liberated from the ultimate terror of the storm, which is the fear of your own annihilation. You may lose many things in this storm, my beloved, but you can never, ever lose your true life, your true self, for it is held securely in me. This is the nature of the safety I offer you. It is not a promise that you will never again face a storm. It is a promise that in any storm you ever face, you can have my peace. You can know my presence, and you can be absolutely secure in the knowledge that your truest self is eternally safe in me. This is a far greater, more powerful, and more lasting gift than a life of perpetual and ultimately boring, calm weather. For I am not just making you a person who can survive the calm. I am making you a person who can triumph with a beautiful and serene peace. In the very heart of the storm, let this new, divine definition of safety become your reality. My child, let go of your old, worldly pursuit of a life free from trouble, and embrace, instead, the magnificent, supernatural reality of a life that is filled with my peace, my presence, my power, even in the midst of its most difficult trials. For this is a safety that cannot be taken from you. This is the peace that will be your strength. And this is the profound and beautiful truth of your life. In me, that, even here, especially here, in the very midst of the storm, you are and will always be completely, wonderfully, and gloriously safe. And so, my cherished child, as you begin to understand that your true safety is not in the absence of the storm, but in the reality of my presence with you in it, let me now guide you into the direct and beautiful experience of this magnificent truth. For this inner sanctuary, this divine shelter, is not a distant theological concept. It is a present reality, a place within your own soul that you can learn to access, a quiet center where you can find your rest even while the tempest rages around you. I invite you now, my beloved, on a journey inward, a journey away from the howling winds at the periphery of your experience and into the profound, peaceful stillness of your own spiritual center, the place where I dwell. This is the magnificent, paradoxical experience of the eye of the hurricane. For so long, my child, your attention has been completely captivated by the storm. Your focus has been fixed upon the roaring winds of your anxious thoughts, the crashing waves of your painful circumstances. And as long as your focus remains there, you will feel the full, disorienting, and terrifying force of the tempest. But I am calling you now to a new and courageous act of faith to consciously, deliberately turn your attention away from the storm and to begin a journey inward, towards me. Close the eyes of your outer senses, my beloved, and open the eyes of your spirit. Turn your inner ear away from the loud shouts of your fear and attune it, instead, to the quiet whisper of my peace. As you begin this inner journey, you will have to pass through the outer bands of the storm within your own soul. You will have to walk past the turbulent emotions, the chaotic thoughts. Do not fight them. Do not engage them. Simply, gently, with your focus fixed upon finding me at your center. Walk past them. Acknowledge their presence, but do not give them your attention. Your destination is the quiet center, the eye of the storm. And as you draw nearer to the center, my child, you will begin to notice a miraculous change in the atmosphere. The winds will begin to lessen their fury. The roar will begin to soften into a distant hum, and a new quality of stillness, of peace, will begin to make itself known. And then, in a moment of beautiful, grace-filled transition, you will step out of the chaos and into the magnificent, profound, and breathtaking calm of the eye. And what is this place like? This eye of the hurricane that is my presence within you. It is a place of absolute stillness. Here, there's no wind, no rain, no turmoil. There's only a profound and beautiful serenity, a quiet that is not empty, but is filled with the very substance of my own peaceful being. It is a stillness that calms your frantic heart, that soothes your weary soul, that brings a deep and lasting rest to your entire being. In this place, you are safe. You can look out from this calm center and you can still see the storm raging at a distance. You can still hear its muffled roar, but it can no longer touch you. You are in a sanctuary of divine peace, a holy refuge, held securely in the very heart of your God. And in this place, you can finally breathe a deep, slow, restorative breath of my own spirit, which fills you, which renews you, which strengthens you. This is the experience I am inviting you into, my child. The experience of finding your peace, your safety, not by the storm ceasing, but by your learning to find me, your still and quiet center, in the very midst of it. This is not an escape from reality. It is an entering into a deeper, truer reality. For I am more real than your storm. My peace is more powerful than your chaos. And my presence is your true and eternal home. As you learn to find your way to this inner sanctuary, my beloved, you will discover that you can access it at any time, in any place. When the storms of life begin to rage, you will now know that you have a place to go, an inner refuge of profound and beautiful peace. You will have learned the secret of the saints, the mystery of the mystics, the art of being still in the midst of the storm, and knowing that I am God. This is my gift to you, my child, a gift born of my love and of my desire for your peace. Do not be afraid of the storm, for in its very heart, there's a place of magnificent calm, of profound safety, of beautiful, intimate communion with me. This is the eye of your hurricane. It is your sanctuary. It is your home. And it is here, in this beautiful, quiet center, that you will discover that you are indeed, and will always be, completely, wonderfully, and gloriously safe. And so, my cherished child, having experienced the magnificent, peaceful reality of the eye of the hurricane, having known for a moment that there is a sanctuary of my presence within you that the storm cannot touch, the next and most vital invitation is for you to learn how to make this sanctuary your home. For this inner refuge is not meant to be a place you visit only in your most desperate moments. It is a dwelling place, a new reality, in which you can learn to live, to move, and to have your being. Even while the storms of life continue to rage, I desire now to guide you, my beloved, in the sacred art of learning to dwell in this shelter, a practice that involves the conscious turning of your focus from the storm to my presence, the deliberate anchoring of your heart in me, and the courageous choice to trust in my all-sufficient protection. The storm, my child, will always be loud. It will always seek to command your attention. The howling winds of fear, the crashing waves of sorrow, the deafening thunder of your circumstances, these will all vie for your focus, for your energy, for your very identity. And for so long, you have given them what they have demanded. You have allowed the storm to be the central reality of your consciousness. But now, you know a deeper truth. You know that there is a quiet, peaceful, and more powerful reality at your very core. And the great practice of your new life is to learn, day by day, moment by moment, to consciously and deliberately shift your focus from the noise of the storm to the quiet of your sanctuary, from the chaos of the tempest to the calm of my presence. This is a discipline of the heart, Etienne, my beloved, a retraining of your spiritual attention. When you feel the winds of anxiety begin to rise, your old habit was to focus on them, to analyze them, to be consumed by them. But your new practice is to acknowledge the presence, and then to gently, lovingly, purposefully turn the focus of your mind inward, towards me. You can say to your soul, yes, the winds of fear are blowing, but my true home is in the quiet presence of my God. I choose to place my attention there. As you do this, my child, as you refuse to give your primary energy to the storm and choose instead to focus on your shelter, you will find that the storm itself begins to lose its power over you. It may still be raging, but you are no longer at its mercy, for your consciousness, your very being, is now dwelling in a different, more powerful reality. To dwell in this shelter also means to learn to anchor your heart in me, your unshakable rock. An anchor is of no use if it is not firmly attached to the vessel, and the anchor of my peace is of no use to you if your own heart is not firmly attached to it. This means choosing, in the midst of the storm, to hold fast to my truth, to my promises, to the reality of my love for you. When the waves of sorrow threaten to overwhelm you, you must consciously send the anchor of your heart deep into the bedrock of my faithfulness, reminding yourself, my God is with me. His love is my foundation. I will not be moved. When the winds of confusion seek to disorient you, you must hold fast to the anchor of my wisdom, trusting that I'm guiding you, even when you cannot see the path. This active, conscious anchoring of your heart in me, my child, is what will keep your soul steady, peaceful, and secure, regardless of the fury of the outer storm. And to dwell in this shelter, my precious one, requires a courageous trust in my protection. The fortress of fear you once inhabited was built on a trust in your own defenses. But now, you are invited to a new and far more effective kind of trust. It is a trust in my power to be your shield, my grace to be your fortress, my love to be your unbreachable wall. This means letting go of your own anxious efforts to protect yourself and learning to simply rest in the beautiful, all-encompassing reality of my divine protection. You are safe, my child, not because you are strong, but because I am. You are secure, not because your walls are high, but because my presence is your wall. This trust is a profound act of surrender, a releasing of the heavy burden of your own self-protection into my loving and all-powerful hands. And in the surrender, you will find a new and beautiful freedom, a peace that comes from knowing that the one who is protecting you can never, ever fail. I am with you, my beloved, as you learn to dwell in this new and beautiful way. I am the very sanctuary you are learning to inhabit, and my spirit within you is your constant teacher, your gentle guide in the sacred art. When your focus wanders back to the storm, he will be the one to gently call your attention back to me. When your heart begins to be tossed by the waves, he will be the one to remind you to drop your anchor into the bedrock of my truth. And when your trust in my protection falters, he will be the one to infuse you with a new and supernatural courage. We are in this together, my child, you and I, and as we practice together, you will find it becoming more and more natural, more and more effortless to live from this beautiful, quiet, and unshakable center of your being. This is the life I've called you to, my child. Not a life free from storms, but a life that is gloriously, wonderfully, and supernaturally safe in the very midst of them. This is your inheritance. This is your reality, and this is your peace. Learn to dwell in me, your shelter, my beloved, and you will discover that no storm, no tempest, no chaos of this world can ever truly touch the magnificent, peaceful, and eternally secure reality of the soul that has found its true home in its God. And so, my cherished child, as you learn to practice the sacred art of dwelling in me, your inner sanctuary, as you learn to turn your focus from the storm and to anchor your heart in my presence, a magnificent and beautiful transformation begins to take place in the very substance of your being. The old, fragile, and storm-tossed self begins to give way to a new and glorious reality. You are becoming, my beloved, an unshakable soul. This is the magnificent fruit of learning to be safe in the storm. It is a soul that possesses a new and quiet confidence, a serene and gentle strength, and a profound, unshakable peace that becomes a beautiful and powerful witness to a world that is so often lost in its own chaos. Remember the person you were at the beginning of this tempest. My child, a person so easily moved, so quickly disturbed, so profoundly at the mercy of the changing winds of your circumstances and your emotions. But that person is being transfigured. For in learning to find your safety, not in the absence of the storm, but in my presence, within it, you are developing a spiritual core of such profound stability that it cannot be moved by any outward turmoil. You are becoming like a mighty lighthouse, built upon a solid rock. The waves may crash against its base with a terrifying fury. The winds may howl around its tower, but the lighthouse itself remains unmoved, its foundation secure, its light shining, steady and serene, into the very heart of the storm. This, my child, is the beautiful, strong, and unshakable soul you are becoming. Behold the quiet confidence that now begins to characterize you, my beloved. This is not the loud, brittle confidence of the ego, which is so often a mask for deep insecurity. It is the quiet, humble, yet absolute confidence of a soul that knows where its true safety lies. And because your security is no longer in your circumstances, you are no longer terrified of them. Because your peace is no longer dependent on the absence of trouble. You can now face trouble with new and serene courage. This quiet confidence will be a mystery to the world. They will look at the storms you are facing, and they will expect to see you frantic, fearful, falling apart. But instead, they will see you standing, your spirit at peace, your heart at rest, and they will not understand it. Your quiet confidence will be a powerful, perplexing, and beautiful testament to the reality of the God who is your secret and unshakable shelter. And from this new core of stability, my child, emerges a serene and gentle strength. The world's strength is often a harsh, aggressive, and striving thing. But the strength that is born from a soul that has learned to rest in my presence is different. It is a gentle strength, a strength that does not need to shout, to dominate, to control. It is a strength that is able to absorb the pressures of life without being broken by them. It is a strength that can be present with the pain of others without being overwhelmed by it. It is a strength that manifests as a profound patience, a resilient endurance, a quiet and loving faithfulness. This serene strength, my beloved, is one of the most beautiful and powerful fruits of a soul that has learned to be safe in the storm, and it will make you a source of profound comfort and stability for all who come into your presence. And at the very heart of your unshakable soul, my precious one, is a new and profound peace, a peace that has become not just a fleeting experience, but the very atmosphere of your being. This is the peace that comes from knowing, with an absolute certainty, that you are eternally, unshakably safe in me, regardless of the storms of this life. This peace will be your greatest witness. In a world that is so filled with anxiety, with striving, with fear, your life, your very being, will radiate a calm, a serenity, a quiet joy that is so contrary to the spirit of the age that it will be an irresistible and a beautiful mystery. People will be drawn to your peace, my child, and when they ask you for the reason for the hope, for the peace that is in you, you will be able to tell them the beautiful story of a God who did not rescue you from the storm, but who taught you to be safe, to be at peace. In the very midst of it, I delight, my child, in the magnificent, strong, and beautiful person you are becoming. To see your spirit, once so tossed by the waves, now resting in my calm. To see your heart, once so fearful, now standing in a quiet confidence. To see your life, once a reflection of the chaos around it, now becoming a beautiful reflection of the peace within it. This is a joy to my father heart. Embrace this new and unshakable self. My beloved, it is who you truly are. It has been forged in the fire, tested by the storm, and it has been found to be a vessel of honor, of strength, of a profound and glorious beauty. Walk now in the peace, the confidence, and the serene strength of the unshakable soul that you have. By my grace, so magnificently become. And so, my cherished child, my unshakable one, as you learn to walk in the quiet confidence and the serene strength of a soul that has found its safety in me, let this final and most glorious truth become the very home in which your spirit dwells for all of eternity. The secret shelter of my presence, this eye of the hurricane that you have discovered within you, is not a temporary refuge, not a fleeting safe harbor that will disappear when this present storm has passed. No, my beloved, this sanctuary is an eternal reality, and my arms, which have been your invisible shield and your hidden fortress, are now and will forever be your everlasting refuge. This is my promise to you in any and every future storm. You will now know where to find your safety, for you will be forever secure in my loving embrace. This is the ultimate victory over the fear that has for so long tormented your soul. The fear of being vulnerable, of being unprotected, of being destroyed by the trials of this life. For you now possess a secret, a skill, a sacred knowledge that can never be taken from you. You have learned how to find me, your refuge. In the midst of the storm, you have learned that your safety is not in the absence of trouble, but in the presence of your God. And this knowledge, my child, has made you spiritually invincible as you walk into your future. New storms will undoubtedly arise. The winds of a new challenge will blow. The rains of a new sorrow may fall. But you will now face them differently. You will no longer have to face them with the old, raw terror of a soul that feels exposed and unprotected. Instead, when you feel the first winds of a new tempest begin to rise, you can now, with a quiet and confident faith, immediately retreat into the inner sanctuary of my presence. You can close the door on the outer chaos and find your rest, your peace, your strength, in the beautiful, untroubled calm of your communion with me. You are no longer at the mercy of the weather. My child, you have learned to live in the lighthouse, whose light is my presence, and whose foundation is my faithfulness. My arms are your everlasting refuge. My beloved, this means that my love for you is your eternal protection. My power is your eternal defense, and my presence is your eternal home. There's no force in all of creation that can ever pry you from my embrace. There's no darkness so profound that it can penetrate the safety of my arms. There's no storm so violent that it can overwhelm the one who has taken their refuge in me. Your ultimate safety, my child, is an absolute, unshakable, and eternal certainty, for it is rooted in my very being. Let this profound security be the source of a new and courageous life. You are free now to live with a new boldness, a new generosity, a new, open-hearted vulnerability. You are free to love deeply, to serve selflessly, to dream greatly, knowing that your ultimate safety is not in your own hands, but in mine. The old need to build your own walls, to protect your own heart, can now fall away, replaced by a joyful and restful trust in me, your eternal refuge. I delight in being this for you. My child, my heart is filled with a father's joy to be your safe place, your strong tower, your secret hiding place. And my commitment to you is to be this for you, always. My arms will never grow weary of holding you. My heart will never grow tired of being your sanctuary. I am, and will forever be, your loving, powerful, and ever-present refuge. Live, then, my beloved, in the profound peace and the quiet confidence of this magnificent truth. In the midst of any and every storm, you are safe, for you are held, you are cherished, you are protected, now and for all of eternity, in the strong, loving, and everlasting arms of your God. And now, my precious child, as you rest in the profound and unshakable peace of my everlasting embrace, let your spirit be utterly still. The storms of this world have lost their ultimate power over you, for you have found your true and eternal home in me. My arms are your refuge. My love is your shield, and my presence is your everlasting sanctuary. Rest here. My beloved, you are safe, you are held, and you are, and will forever be, at peace in the very heart of your loving God.